Britain's Prince Andrew is giving up his royal titles after continued pressure over his friendship with the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. He said the accusations were a distraction for his brother, King Charles. It comes after the publication of excerpts from an upcoming posthumous memoir by Virginia Roberts Giuffre, who alleged she was trafficked by Epstein and that Andrew had sex with her when she was 17. He will remain a prince and still 8th in line to the throne, but will cease to be the Duke of York, a title bestowed upon him by his late mother, Queen Elizabeth. Let's take a closer look at the story and bring in royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliams. Welcome, Richard. Now, Prince Andrew had already withdrawn from public life because of his ties to Jeffrey Epstein. Why has the scandal now resurfaced 5 years later?
There are several reasons for that. Firstly, Virginia Roberts Giuffre tragically committed suicide earlier this year, but her posthumous memoir, Nobody's Girl, is being published next week. Now, we've already seen excerpts from it, but that promised to be extremely damaging. She accused Prince Andrew of sexually abusing her on 3 occasions. He has strongly denied this and has not been convicted of anything, but in the court of public opinion, he has never been able to explain away the photograph taken in 2001 and later published in the Mail on Sunday, which showed him with his arm around Virginia Giuffre. And there's absolutely no question that the drip, drip, drip of material about this was harming the monarchy. There was a second very serious issue, and that was a complicated matter possibly, but it was linked to Andrew and an alleged Chinese spy who got close to him, Yang Tengbo, and also the fact that apparently he'd had contact with a top Chinese spy master in circumstances that have been somewhat controversial. And as though that were not enough, the notorious interview he gave on Newsnight, a disaster of Krakatoan proportions that absolutely showed him to be bovine and uncaring. He said nothing about being sorry for Epstein's victims. There's absolutely no question that he said, and specifically said, that he had not been in contact with Epstein after having visited him in New York, and that has subsequently been proven to be a lie. And indeed, the email, when fully read, not only saying party some more, but also says that they were in it together. Now, when that is linked to the monarchy, it's desperately damaging, and King Charles and Prince William, of course, supporting, had to take action, I think.
Yeah. Prince Andrew has given up his royal titles, but he's still a prince. Why is that, and what will the real-life consequences of this move for him be?
Well, firstly, the reason he's still a prince is he is the son of Queen Elizabeth. And so that was one thing that can't be removed, but his HRH was already in abeyance. Now, also of significance, of course, he ceases to be a duke. He can't use the title, and Sarah Ferguson, who's his devoted ex-wife, and who, quite frankly, is nothing but shame on the monarchy. My opinion, they deserve each other, quite frankly. It may sound unkind, but she's been ill. But the facts of the matter are that there's a litany of appalling judgments, bad friendships, and extraordinary behaviour going back decades for both of them. So far as affecting him the one other way, he's still a councillor of state, as far as I know. But the point is only working royals can act as a councillor of state, and that's in the absence of the monarch. So, that is something that will never happen. And also, of course, he is no longer Knight of the Garter. Now, that is something that it's the most prestigious order of chivalry, dates back to the 14th century. And obviously, I mean, he was previously attending church service, but not the procession outside. The point was the royal family didn't know what to do with Andrew, but also it's a question as well of their good work. And certainly geopolitically is very, very significant these days, as you know. I mean, with Ukraine, with President Trump, with a whole variety of issues. It was all of this endless sleaze and scandal was overshadowing things.
Yeah, and the royal family today hopes to put all of that behind itself. That was royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliams. Thank you so much for your insights.
Thank you.
For more, let's cross over to our correspondent Charlotte Chelsom-Pill in London. Charlotte, Prince Andrew had already stepped back from public duties over his ties to Jeffrey Epstein. So why is the scandal making headlines again 5 years later?
Well, the fact is that this story has never really been far from the headlines at all. Just a few years ago, it was making headlines here in the UK due to a civil case involving his accuser, Virginia Giuffre. The case saw him settle, paying millions of pounds. He, of course, as he has done again this evening, denying vigorously any wrongdoing. But Prince Andrew has been set by a number of scandals in recent years, hitting the headlines most recently in the last few days, in fact, due to the imminent publication of a posthumous memoir from Virginia Giuffre. We know that she details her allegations against Prince Andrew in that. There is, of course, therefore, a lot of speculation about what may be coming out in just the next few days.
So what prompted King Charles to take action now?
Well, yeah, while Prince Andrew says very clearly in the statement that he's put out this evening that he's taken this decision to give up these titles, the inference certainly is that he was under the influence or pressure from King Charles. And in fact, we can infer that from the very first sentence of the statement. He's saying that the decision to give up the titles was made in discussion with the king, my immediate and wider family. So it does appear here that a decision was taken that this simply couldn't go on and something had to be done beyond what has already been done. And of course, this is a very significant step. This is the first time that this Duke title, the title has been removed from a Duke in 100 years. What this may do is calm questions about what more the king could do. What isn't yet clear, though, is whether this move will draw a line under what has undoubtedly been a very difficult chapter for the royal family.
Now, Prince Andrew has given up his royal titles, but he does remain a prince. Why is that, and what will the real-life consequences be for him?
Yeah, well, that title was conferred to him upon birth as the son of Queen Elizabeth II. So for that reason, he will retain that title. But yes, the other titles he is giving up here. This is just the latest in a series of humiliations for Prince Andrew. We know that he's given up titles in the past, retreating from royal life. We know that in practice, what this means is he's also retreating from any public life as well. There have often been questions raised if he's seen appearing at any time alongside the royal family. That happened most recently at the funeral of a member of the royal family. And we have been hearing too that he will not join the royal family for any Christmas celebrations or events. So as I say, this is the latest in a series of very humiliating moments for Prince Andrew.
That's DW correspondent Charlotte Chelsom-Pill. Thank you so much for all of that context.